guys, hope you're all well. So yeah, today, following yesterday's video, I thought I'd look into a few pointers around the internal or techniques you can use that'll hopefully help you practice, maybe make you understand it differently, look at it differently. These are techniques I use when I teach to get people to understand the body. So basically, when you practice Tai Chi, the goal is that the entire body is open, clear, transparent, and everything goes through the body and leaves. And this allows the body to kind of open. There's a lot more to this, but I'm just trying to simplify it a bit. But there's a major area of the body when it comes to internal flexibility that needs to be empty and it needs to be correct, and that is the hips. So we're going to have a little look at that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use one posture from a Yang style Tai Chi. I'll use brush knees, one of my favourites, to demonstrate, but you could use any posture, and I may demonstrate it in another posture too, just so we can see the difference. Okay, so off we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to move the posture and I'm going to lock myself up a bit. So here I move out of the posture a bit, I lift my chest, I arch my back. So if I go to the hips, and the back of the hips, and I imagine that the energy from the hips is big, wide, continuous, and round and flows away from the body. It gets the body to release. So I'll move back into that posture. I'll lock myself up. Here I'll make the tailbone energy go, and then off it goes, it starts releasing. Okay. I'll do it again on the next part of the movement. I'll come up, everything's moving okay. I'm changing, it's okay, I get stuck, I twist a bit. You can see the posture's locked up. I go to the tailbone, make the energy continue, and then off it goes again. So this is quite simple, of being aware all the time that this energy from the tailbone continues past the body. And what's really important about this is, when I first trained with my first teacher, he would talk about tucking the hips a lot. And this is something that you'll hear in Tai Chi, but what it did to me personally, when I thought of tucking, I contracted, and it brought everything back to the body and actually made the hips tighter. So when you bring the consciousness to the hips and the tailbone area and the back, and you make it wider and expand out and continue, then the tightness leads the body. And then when the hips are free, the rest of the body has the potential to kind of have this continuous flowing state, which is kind of what you're aiming for, really, because I don't think there's any benefits of being tight. It doesn't really help you physically. So I'll do one more pose. Maybe I'll do cat washer's face or something, and then I'll move. I'll do the same thing with this posture. I'll move too much, and I make the tailbone energy go, and then off it goes again. I'll move too much, make the tailbone energy go, and then it kind of self-rights the body. When the tailbone energy is moving, it'll sort it out, Same thing again, if I make it go, then the body releases and the hips release. So the hips used to be described by one of my teachers as like a counterweight, that when they can hang and they're free, everything else opens. If the hips are contracted, everything gets distorted. And these are the kind of things that cause tightness. So what I'll do, I'll add one more kind of thing that I look at a lot in Tai Chi, where I saw problems in my own practice over the years, and with spending a long time looking at it and teaching and starting to understand a little bit about what's going on. So in general, they talk about in Tai Chi the chest, or pluck up the back, sink the chest. So you tend to get this odd distorted shape that people do, where they over sink the chest, they pluck up the back, then they contract the hips, and then this becomes how they do the Tai Chi. So because Tai Chi at the end of the day is it's meant to bring you back to a natural state, I think understanding these principles is so important. So I'd like to talk about the chest. So problems with the chest a lot of the time are, when people open, they break the posture up. So what should happen in general, your hands pretty much are always in front of the body. So if I stand sideways, and then I open the body, you can open it as much as you want if your arms are in front. If you bring these arms back, now open it, you'll feel the chest, the shoulders, and then you'll see that starts to arch the lower back too. So if the arms are in front all the time, then you can flatten your back out, and then the movement can come from out the spine. So when you do the movement, I'll do it like the brush knee again, and I'll overuse the chest, and we look at some of the implications of it. Okay. So here, if I open too much, it's already arching my back and locking it. But if the arms have that feeling like they're in front all the time, then you can keep moving. So this gets interesting, because as you're moving, you might get to a position like this and you think, well, I need to move this way or turn for it to become circular. So you stay in the same position, you have to go in the quad, and then the quad does a loop, and then you turn again. And this way, you've been able to work within the dimensions of the form and keep this roundedness. So, yeah, the chest area is very important. Tai Chi, don't lift the chest. Keep this work within these diameters. You can really open a lot in this rounded shape and get the opening, but don't break it. The minute you break it, you're going to arch the lower back, and then you're just going to start causing lots of problems. So linking these fundamental basic things, where you do the movement within the physical principles of the shape. If you can tie these together, what you'll find is it'll limit the amount you're going to move in the posture, and if you do move, you're going to have to move through the hips and create this release. So I think I'll leave that for now, for this segment, for the internal practice, and then maybe tomorrow I'll come back and we'll look at something else that maybe we can add to it.